Noswaith a croeso. Good evening and welcome to the first episode of the Bluebird's Nest Live. We are here at Jenner Park, home of Barry Town United, who host the Bluebirds tonight for what is match day 4 of the Cymru Premier. Kickoff is just a few minutes away here, so a few updates for you. If you are listening live or on demand on YouTube, you are hearing a brand new online concept for away games during this season, with hopefully some special guests joining me to not only give you an insight into life at Haverfordwest County, but also we'll talk you through what we're seeing in front of us on the road with the Bluebirds as obviously the games play out. The Bluebirds have supported well. They've travelled extremely well over the last few months and years. We've seen a number here already tonight in Barry, but fixtures in the Cymru Premier often mean that you supporters are unable to perhaps travel and see how the games unfold. So hopefully this gives you a further insight into that. We piloted this concept nearly a fortnight ago now at the Penabon fixture for some of our season ticket holders. We lost 2-0 on the night, so hopefully taking it to public access this evening and across the club's social media accounts will bring us some better fortunes. Please feel free to join us in the chat function on YouTube stream that you can see here to ask questions and engage with us throughout tonight's game. Particularly if you've got a question for the gentleman sat next to me here, special guest, friend of the Bluebirds Nest, Mr. Vice Chairman of Haverfordwest County, Mr. Julian Fern. Julian, welcome. How are you?
Super proud to be here tonight. And,
Hang on, bear with me. There we go, Julian. Welcome.
listen, the mute button is a fit. Guys, I'm super proud to be here tonight representing the board, but more importantly, to see so many of our European shirts dotted around the stadium here in Barry. That's super good. And I think this could be the game. This could be the game that takes us on our next level of our journey, get us from that European hangover into the league and push you forward.
Definitely.
Can't wait.
Well, as we near kickoff, I'm sure you can hear the tannoy system is really kicking up the atmosphere already. But let's get into tonight's teams then. The home side first then. Mike Lewis in goal, Michael George, Chris Hugh, Callum Sainty, Curtis MacDonald, Kane McLagan, and captain John Cottrell, Jamie Veal, who I'm sure you'll all remember from his spell with us last season, Aidan Lewis, Ollie Hulbert, Evan Press, and then a bench of Luke Rees, Troy Greening, Sam Snaith, Finn Roberts, Lucas Tomlinson, Luke Sylvester, and Callum Higgins. And for the Bluebirds, as they enter into the Jenner Park Stadium, number 1, Zach Jones, 3, Rhys Abruzzese, 8, Kai Whitmore, 9, Ben Fawcett, 10, Dan Hawkins, 11, Martel Taylor Crossdale, 15, Lee Jenkins, 18, Tyrese Owen, 20, Oscar Borg, number 7, Ricky Watts, and captain 25, Luke Tabone, with a bench, Ivan Knott, Harry John, Lucas Davis, Caden Williams-Lowe, Yori Humphreys, Dan John, and Seth Woodhouse. The referee this evening is Mr. Bryn Markham-Jones, and his assistants, Harry Hendricks and Jordan Christopher, are joined by 4th official, Ian Lewis. For those of you that have been to Jenner Park before, I'm sure you were well accustomed to the drum and the very much the singing orchestra in the corner of our stand here. We are opposite the west stand at the moment, which I'd say is the main stand here in Barry. We have the clubhouse on our right-hand side, the dugouts directly opposite us. So we'll be of a cracking view here, Julian, of how this game's going to unfold.
Absolutely. I think the boys are out already. It's a weird one when you see one of your ex-players in an opposition shirt, but I hope he doesn't have a very good game today or when we play him again next. But today, we've got to look upon our team and look what we got and what we bring to the party. Very strong again tonight. I'm glad I'm seeing Luke live. I mean, you met him out in Macedonia just to have a coffee with, but glad he's in the team, leading the team tonight. And I'm looking forward to a sneaky win.
Well, fingers crossed we pick up the 3 points tonight. I am feeling quite confident, to be honest. I remember coming here 2 years ago at the start of the documentary coverage, and Forsey, he loves a goal at Jenner Park. He scored an absolute rocket here 2 years ago. But you've also got the evergreen Kane McLagan in the opposite number 9 shirt. I think the captain, he's just coming over to referee Bryn Markham-Jones. He's purring for goals at the minute himself, having scored probably the biggest goal just the weekend just gone against PNS in 95th minute, I think it was, to equalise and get a point away at the champions, which is a massive result for them, with them coming back into the league for this season. But yeah, you mentioned Jamie Veal there. I'm sure we'll talk about him. We know how good he is from 25, 30 yards out from set piece. So McLagan and Veal will be the ones I identify for Barry. But that's, like I said, I fancy Forsey to get on the score sheet tonight. My predictions have been okay recently. A shout out to the Cleddau Casuals, the new Twitter profile recently set up by some of our supporters. They got a Premier League Dream Team competition going on, and I was very near the top at the start, but I'm sinking slowly down that league table. But hopefully I can get it right tonight, and we come away with what would be a massive 3 points on the road. But it would be a massive point. The bookies, I had a quick look earlier online, Jules, and they do have Barry as slight favourites tonight. So as Martel just about to take kick off in front of us, Barry are favourites to take 3 points tonight. But hopefully that's not the case, and we can go against the bookmakers' odds.
What do the bookies know, eh?
Hopefully that's the case. Please gamble aware. Please gamble responsibly. Right, we're underway. The ball is played back to Tabone, over to Hawkins. Dan Hawkins again, who's featuring on as a right wing back tonight, it seems, with 3 across the back. Oscar Borg to the left, Jenks in the middle, and Captain Luke Tabone to the right of a back 3. Dan Hawkins, I'd say right wing back, with Abu facing his former side over on the left hand side. It seems we've started off with Watsy and Tyrese Owen in the sort of holding 2 of a midfield 3, with Kai Whitmore just slightly more advanced, and then Martel and Forsey up top. So it's almost a 3-5-2. It looks how we've set up. And Barry, I think you're almost in an identical shape too.
Absolutely. As we learned over that European journey, how good Tony and Waggy are to pick us a good setup to go against our opponents.
Yeah. I was fortunate to be in the change room for the team talk earlier, and Tony and Waggy, to be fair, since they've both worked together again, they obviously were at the Swans together, but since Tony's come in and Waggy previously before that, they're meticulous in their planning. They know what teams are going to do, I think, before it's announced publicly. I think Tony came to watch the Colwyn Bay game when they played. He was on telly, but I think he was in attendance that day, a Sunday or 2 ago, for the 1-1 draw here for the 2 newly promoted sides. And meticulous. He knew their threats, knew their strengths and weaknesses, I suppose, as well. So hopefully we can capitalise on some of those this evening. It's been a pretty open game so far. The ball being played around at the moment by the Bluebirds. Jenks has gone long, but Barry have dealt with it well and have cleared their lines. The drum, as it was in Penabont a fortnight ago, the drum is nice and loud in the home stand here. That we can hopefully our voices can go above slightly the singing Barrytown United faithfuls. Barry are in the traditional yellow and blue, and Haverfordwest are almost the opposite. They're in blue shirts, blue shorts, and yellow socks. So it's pretty distinguishable. I thought with obviously Barry are in blue shorts themselves and blue socks. I'm surprised actually, both teams are allowed to be played in blue shorts.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we normally playing with blue socks as well, don't we? Or white socks, I can't remember. But I'm watching this. It does stand out. One player's really stood out in the first couple of minutes already. He's Tyrese. I think for me, he's now getting to grips with the team, the league, and I think that's going to be a nice little battle in the middle there. Yeah. He looks controlled. He looks reserved, but very very much a big figure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's such completely contrasting styles. You've got Jamie Veal, who obviously we know very well, a technician footballer, great off set piece. He's just actually taken a free kick on the centre circle there. Will sit deep and play from deep and spray the ball far and wide, to be fair, as he set up an attack here. Michael George is breaking down the right. He's got a lot of space in front of him. Abu is now being pushed out to the further wide man. It's a good defensive header from Jenks. McLagan is ushering it out. It's a throw in the attacking final stages of the Barrytown left-hand side. But yeah, going back, Tyrese, him and Vealy almost have swapped positions, I suppose, in the Bluebirds lineup, and completely different shape. You got Tyrese 6'5", 6'6", and Jamie Beal much shorter. But they've both been asked to do similar roles, I guess. Chris Hugh was just crossed in, and Zach has collected very well from that early cross into the Bluebirds box. Zach's got the ball rolling out. Martel has got it just inside the half as he breaks into the Barry side of the pitch. It's a through ball. He's offside there. Flags up. Kai Whitmore just jumping ahead of the gun there.
Again, it just shows that the confidence they have in each other. We move from Zach right through the midfield to our forward line very quickly there, and that's what I like to see, because in our European games when we did that, we put them on their back foot. It very much caused more problems for them than us, and defensively, all teams are vulnerable, aren't they? Defensively, especially from a set piece. We don't know what their armour is going to be in set pieces. We can defend what we can, but reality is set piece corner here, first corner of the game, I think. So let's wait and see what comes out of this the next couple of seconds.
Yeah, left back Chris Hugh has gone all the way over to the far side, and just looking inside the box, Barry have got a number of fairly tall players themselves. Tyrese, Luke are marshalling them, and it's gone over the bar. Evan Press did get in front of Tyrese slightly there. No, it's gone off for a corner, actually. It must have been Tyrese who got the ball there. Straight over the crossbar, high and wide. Back over to Hugh on the far side in front of what's still a very busy burger van over there, Joe.
That's very unfair to say.
Perhaps we'll head over there half time. It's another great cross, and it's evaded everybody, and it's gone out for a goal kick. It was another good-looking cross from the left-footed player over there.
Yeah, do you think we dealt with that well, or do you think we could have done better? I feel we could have done a lot better.
Yeah, the defenders look quite static there, didn't they? It was a bit high, to be fair. But we're now on the attack. Martel, Saintie's done well there. He's held Martel up and bought the foul, I think, just outside the Barrytown box. Mike Lewis will clear his lines here. A number of fixtures across the Cymru Leagues this evening in the Cymru Premier. I've just noticed that Connors Key have already taken the lead against Newtown, and it's our old friend Jordan Davis who's picked up the first goal after what was 2 minutes of play there against Newtown. So Jordan back on the score sheet again.
So Ryan, did you give your score predictions? You talked about it, but you actually didn't sort of share those.
Well, let's hope for some goals at least. I'm gonna say 3-1 to the Bluebirds. Okay. How about yourself?
Well, that's a good scoreline, and I'd love to see that scoreline. I think it'll be a little bit closer game 2-1 to the Bluebirds.
No, yeah, I'm just noting in the comments. Jack Wilson, apologies, mate. I didn't see your comment there. Jack, who's obviously unavailable this evening, watching or listening on, I should say, probably from sunny Pembrokeshire. Jack, how about yourself, mate? What are you thinking? I think Forsey's in here. He's got the wrong side of the keeper.
Go on.
Oh, that's a great save. He's one-on-one with the keeper. The defender was very physical from behind there, but it's deflected off Mike Lewis's knee, I would say. Lewis stayed standing up in the 1v1, and it's gone over for a corner. Dan Hawkins is immediately across to take the corner. Bluebirds are waiting for the Jenks, Oscar, and Luke Tabone to come into the box, but that was a great chance, that, Joe.
Very much so. I think Forsey wasn't quite sure. He's waiting for the whistle. I think he would have just kept.
I thought he was off.
Yeah, and that's what I think he thought as well.
Big chance missed there. Good cross by Hawkins. It's gone deep. Jenkins at the back post. Just a little bit too high. Jenks did get his head on it, but it's gone up for a goal kick. Lively start. See Rob in the chat. Welcome home, Rob, from your foreign holidays. It's hopefully not as many throw-ins as Penabont was a couple of weeks ago. That was a horrific night of weather in Penabont that we endured that night on a 2-0 loss, obviously, but much nicer here in sunny Barry. There's blue skies. It's a little bit chilly. Julian, in fact, has got his legs on show because of all these holidays he's been having recently. He's got his tan out, but I think it'll cool off quickly this evening.
I'm feeling it already.
There's a ball over the top. But no, Jenks has done well to usher that back to Zach. Sorry, it's on the edge of the box. Barry's still in possession, and Zach does well to collect it. Good shot, good strike on goal. That straight at him, to be fair. Nearly 10 minutes gone, and pretty balanced so far.
Good turnout as well. Sort of looking around us, there's definitely a few hundred here today to watch this great game.
For those that haven't been to Barry before, there's a running track, and I think it almost camouflages how many people are actually here. It's a big ground, Jenna Park. For the stand we're in, it seems to be the majority of people have taken their seats this evening. And yeah, you're right. I'd say my guess, don't know officially, obviously, but I'd say it's a good 350, huh?
Yeah. Or 200 for tax purposes.
Yeah, controversial decisions at the moment for the attendances around the league. We won't go into that one, but yeah, no, it is good to see, and it's a hot topic on Twitter in particular about the increase in attendances. Obviously, Colwyn Bay have come into the league, Barry Town have come into the league. They're massively well followed clubs, with great histories as well, and it's good to see those attendances, averages and things like that going up. Kai Whitmore now in the final third for the Brewers. Back to Tyrese. Tyrese on one of those mazy runs that he had. They were really well on the weekend against Carnarvon. Back to Watsy, and now all the way back to our half with Jenks. Back to Watsy. Boys are passing it about well here, to be fair. Settling well. Sean Pemberton in the comments there. Thanks, Pems. I probably look like him more than I sound like him. Curtis McDonald, the veteran centre half, if I can call him that, is marking Forsey. That's 3 times now. He's beaten him in the air for the flick on. Do a Mel Forsey.
I think, as you said earlier, Forsey likes to score here. So
yeah, well, that's the end where he put that rocket in 2 years ago. Another one of them would be fantastic, but I'll take a 2-yarder.
We do look disciplined again. We saw Luke had a little forward play earlier, and Watsy's fielding at the back line, as in back into the shape now. But I really like this team at the moment. Everyone seems to know what their jobs are and what they need to do if they're out of position. That's such a good thing to have. And that's Tony for you. Tony's a great manager, and this is why I think from a ball perspective we're so pleased of the European piece, but the league where we've got to and the ambition that Tony has as much as we do.
Yeah, and he was obviously very publicly stating his thoughts after the match on Saturday. Even though it was bank holiday, he had the boys in for a session last night, and I think they were, really going back to basics and focusing on the team shape in defence and on offence. So it's already in show here. So hopefully he's leaning against the dugout over there. He's not quite as irate as perhaps he was on the weekend. So he seems a little bit happier at the moment. 2 balls on the pitch at the moment for a bit of a stoppage. I think that's the oldest ball boy in the league, that one, Joe.
I'm probably the oldest commentator.
The only commentator, so. Barry currently got possession for a throw-in, as it was in Penabont a couple of weeks ago. We had a world record number of throw-ins that night as the wind pushed the ball and the rain. It was horrific. Hopefully not many tonight. Kane McLagan inside too. That man, Jamie Veal, who's gone out wide to Michael George, who puts a good ball in, and it's 1-0 to Barry Town United. It was a deflected cross that took the ball straight into the path. I think it's Ollie Hulbert, I think, over on the far side there. I think it was an outstretched leg.
Yeah, sort of our back line are remonstrating about offside, aren't they?
It must have been close. The linesmen are not having any of it. It's 1-0 to Barry Town.
Barry Town, scored by number 22, Ollie Hulbert.
Yeah, it was Hulbert with a goal. So Veely in the centre circle has passed it out wide to Mikey George, who was again allowed to travel up the field. He went to put a cross that probably would have ended up the far side of the box. I think it was Tyrese, an outstretched leg, re-diverted it. And he's just picked the ball up and almost walked it into the net, it looked like, from where we sat. So it's 1-0 to the home side. Not the start we wanted. 14 minutes in. The linesman has now got his flag up. Of course he has. For it was in an offensive manner. Martel almost broke the line there. As the volume seems to have gone up over on the far side there. Quite right. Heads up, go again. Come on, the Blues. Quite right. Jules, have you been to Jenner Park previously?
No, this is the first time to Barry. Been to Barry before, but I haven't been here before. It's a ground that sort of wouldn't want to watch a lot of football at. Too open for me. I like enclosed spaces or ground like ours is a little bit on you. You were so far away from the pitch here. You can't influence as a fan, can you? They can't really hear you. But listen. We allowed a sloppy goal, but reality is it's against run of play, in my opinion.
Yeah, the boys have certainly not let their heads drop. They're Oscar's travelling into opposition territory. Is he tricked? He looked like he was tricked there.
No, I think that was the ground. He's got his studs caught.
Yeah, it's I think it's an artificial pitch here at Jenner Park, and I know it was relayed in the summer. It's looking quite good, to be fair. It's Dan Hawkins. He's given the ball away. It's a 3-on-3. Jenks is ushering Albert out wide. Boys are getting back in numbers. Bluebirds were on the attack now. We've picked up possession again, and it's a Bluebirds throw. But we were on the attack then, and Dan passed and a stray pass went to Albert, who's causing us a bit of problems at the moment. Jenks on the ball now and looking to switch back over to the right-hand side with Hawkins, who's playing, like I said, as a right wing-back tonight. He's looking to get on as much as possible, as Veely has just manhandled Kai Whitmore and ran off with the ball. They're going to look to spoil this game a little bit, I think, now. Jules, take us back then to when you got involved in the club a couple of years ago now. Obviously, your links with Rob. Tell us, how did it come about?
Yeah, so I was gonna hold fire there. I thought it was on the attack. Rob and I, as a lot of you probably know, we're Orient fans and met through Orient. We used to do a radio show and a podcast, and we just sort of our friendship blossomed really and got involved down here. And for me, since September 2020, it's been one of the best things I've ever done. You know, I really enjoy coming down, really enjoy the people, the club, the football. But as we go tonight, it's we're allowing them to play through us at the moment. Good a bit defensive work there by Jenkins.
Yeah, Tyrese just volleyed the ball 60 yards all the way up into the Barry box there.
Yeah, we are sitting quite deep, aren't we?
Just pop the bubble a little bit with that goal coming against, like you say, probably against the run of play. Hope we can pinch another one back pretty soon and get back on top. Yeah, so
at least we've got the one now, isn't it? The one we both said.
We just need the three now. So coming up to 3 years then, you've been involved in the club. Did you ever imagine it would have been on this journey so quickly?
No, Rob set out a real quite robust plan that we're a couple of years ahead of that to get into Europe, but that doesn't mean the plan stops. Very much it's an ongoing feast, and I think the commitment from Rob and the rest of the board is to move the club forward as much as we can during our tenure, and that's going to be for a while. And more importantly, is to give us that sustainability piece. I know we talk about it a lot in football, but ultimately the club needs to be future-proofed, and it's not quite there yet. But we're getting there, so which is great to see.
Barry have currently got possession of the ball. He's offside. Wow. It was a good break from the home side, but again, it was sloppy possession from the Bluebirds. They've given the ball to Barry. They've broken down the left-hand side. That was close. The linesman has got his flag up, but the ball was in the back of the net again. Hugh, Chris Hugh, the Barry left back, got a lot of space then, travelled well. Watsy couldn't quite get the tackle in without probably bringing him down for a penalty, but he put it across. And Kane McLagan, as he so often does, is on the 6-yard line, has just tapped it in. But Bluebirds are in attack. Tyrese Again, it's just that final ball. Forsey on the edge of the box. Square to Tyrese. Can he get a bit of space? Back to Kai Whitmore. Again, they've got 7 players inside the Barry box there. Back to Abu. Put a great knock in. It's at the back post with Hawkins. Back into the box. There's no one there. Oh, Forsey.
Oh, sure, it's Forsey.
Oh, what a great save that is. Great save by Mike Lewis. It's the second 1v1 that Lewis has got the better of Forsey there. He's drilled it low this time, Forsey, and Mike Lewis seemed to be mid-air where it's just hit him more than saved, perhaps. That's another possession lost. To Bourne this time has given it to Veal, who's just almost playing like a little quarterback in the middle there, and he's just pulling the strings for Barry. He's orchestrating it well. Barry now with a bit of possession. Kay McLagan spreads it out wide to Mikey George over on the right-hand side there. Abu in hot pursuit. Has made him play it directly into touch. You've got to get a foot on the ball a bit. Yeah, it's a bit too much in the air at the moment for the way we like to play. Barry now resorting to playing it long. It's a bit of a hot potato, like I said. This no team wants to keep possession for the moment. It's a good tackle by Watts. He's picked up possession. Again, playing centre midfield tonight. Arkai, a fantastic turn and break. He's passed 3. Good mark on Jones. Points the wrong way for us. He's given a tackle. It's that Ollie Hulbert again chasing back as the 3rd defender to try and stop Kai there. Got in front of him, and Kai's just giving him a bit of a tug as he battled for the ball. It's a free kick. Veely is just helping his teammate up off the ground. Veely will take the free kick. Smack on the centre circle on the spot. A couple of opinions coming in the chat there. We're definitely missing a few injured defenders. You're right. You know, there's a almost a 5-a-side team of players, and they're certainly ones you'd think to be starting for the Bluebirds at the moment. It's a bit of bad luck again. Obviously, there's Jazz missing, Dylan Rees, who, you know, captain, who's been out since our trip over to Ireland. Elliot Scotcher, Kyle Patton, who I saw earlier on as year supporting the boys. Caden is just coming back into fitness really after getting injured over in Macedonia in a training session. Rio in an attacking. Oh, he's given a free kick against us there. Rio Dyer again, one of the attackers who's out. So there's a strong bunch of boys who are missing for us. But again, looking at the bench, it's a decent bench for us again tonight. James, what do you think of the academy graduates, I suppose, coming through from the foundation phase and all the way through to the development squad and now into the first team? That must be something the club board are proud of.
I think the club is proud of that. Forget the board. I think the club is very proud of that. I think over that European journey, I don't want to keep harping on about it. It's gone now, but we were so proud as a leadership team to see so many young chaps on the bench, you know, really wanting to do their best for Haverfordwest, and all were called upon. They were going to do their bit, but that's the foundation of any club, isn't it? If you're having youth and you wanting youth to be a part of our journey, and also have players that really care for Haverfordwest and for the badge, you've got to grow them. So to have that good mix is really good.
I think we've got to speak about Europe at some point, because it's been such a big thing for us in the last few weeks and months. As the Bluebirds are enjoying a bit of possession here at the moment.
We settle. As soon as we settle, we can play a bit of football, and that's the thing. I think we just try to overstretch ourselves and do too much at times, and now we're just nice and easy, keeping hold of the ball, and by doing that, stops them playing.
Let's pick up on some of the European experiences and adventures we've had then. Just go back to, I think, the last time you and I were in Cardiff, or the first time I should say, on the playoff semi-final at Cardiff met. That day, yourself and the lovely Mrs. Fern were in Cardiff for Well, you didn't expect the drama to unfold like it did. What were the emotions like that day and the penalties particularly?
As most of the guys know, I'm probably the most emotional about the board members. I cried at every one of your videos, Ryan, and probably every win we've had in Europe or even the loss. I cried at that. I'm super proud of what the club has achieved. But most players, especially Cardiff Met, we really to go full time, extra time, and then win on penalties, and Zach to have a wonderful exhibition. But yeah, it's the start of that amazing journey, and we'll probably talk about that as we go through this half and the rest of the second half. But yeah, Cardiff was a great day, very emotional, and great for Haverfordwest.
Yeah, it seems every time we start a conversation, we build up a good bit of possession play. The ball has been passed around at the back at the moment in good triangles. We're moving them around a bit, which I think will help us. They're the average age. We're a good few years younger in average age, I'd say. They're slightly older. Jenks parades up the park. Jenks and Martel are now playing centre forward, and Martel on the byline. Great turn. It's back to Dan Hawkins. Can he get across him? It's a good cross to the back post, and it's out for a Haverfordwest corner.
Come on, the boys. That's better. That's a lot better. A lot better. I think Tony wants us to keep talking. We play better when we talk.
Yeah. It's Hawkins again across to the far top left corner of the Bluebirds attack to Abu. It's out for another corner. It's deflected. The cross was deflected by Chris Hu. Again, he seems to be getting everywhere around the pitch, the fullback tonight. There's a bit of a lull across Jenner Park at the moment. I think the home side feel that something's brewing. Back to Dan Hawkins on the edge of the box. Ooh, great feed by Kai Whitmore on the edge of the box. Finds space. Lays it to force it. Oh, it's a great block. And it's not out for a corner just yet. No, Hugh does well. And Oscar blocks the clearance out for a throw-in. That was another big chance. Kai Whitmore again with it. He's got great feet. He did it in Europe many times. He did it again well on Saturday, and he's brought his dancing feet to Barry tonight, that's for sure. It's a couple of times he's done that now. Martel is battling well with Sainty, I think it is, the centre half over there. He's a much bigger lad, but Martel's holding the ball up well.
Martel needs a goal, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He was unlucky with that penalty on Saturday. I saw it's a Bluebirds free kick just inside the Barry half. Yeah, watching the Scorio highlights of his penalty, I think it was a decent penalty. It's just, and I spoke to James Devon, the goalkeeping coach earlier. He even said it was a good save. It was a strong arm tool to save that. But Webb was one of Canavan's better plays on the weekend. But and many people are saying this. I think with Martel, he'll get one. He'll get a hatful. Just needs that first one. And Hawkins with a free kick. Hopefully Martel gets on the end of this one. And straight into the arms of Mike Lewis. Collected well. It's just not falling for us at the moment. Barry now build up. Back to the quarterback, Jamie Veal. McDonald across to Sainty at centre half. And it's out the other side to Michael George at right wing back. He's picked up some miles. He's travelled well with that ball tonight. And they know what to do. The runs they make off the ball, they know, it's a well-drilled Barry attack that. When it's switched over to the other side. Ew on the ball again, who seems to be a bit of a thorn for us. I've just seen that Scorio have tweeted the Ollie Albert goal. If you wanted to take a look on the Twitter accounts. In the 14th minute. With Barry taking a 1-0 lead. Abu's done well to get possession back off. Again, travelling Mike George. It's a good battle, that is. But it's straight back down our throats. They've cleared their lines well, Barry, so far. And Forsey now tussling with Sainty. And Sainty's gone down holding his face. I don't think there's anything in it intentional. The refs stopped the play. I don't think it's for a foul. I think it's just for a precautionary measure. It's getting a little bit chilly here in Barry. Do you know how the legs?
I'm not going to go down to your low tones. No, it's freezing. I'm sitting in a pair of shorts on thinking I've got a waterproof and maybe chubbed over my legs in a minute like an old man. It's a bit chilly here. It is a bit chilly. But look, it's a lovely evening though. It's dry, which is always positive.
Quite right, yeah.
So,
Sorry.
sorry.
Go on, go you.
So who's your standout player thus far for us?
Forsey probably. He's obviously had 2 big chances, but what I like with Forsey is that he's grown over the years. I think it's his 5th or 6th year now at the club. He's still early 20s, you know. He's still young, but he's beginning to show those leadership traits, I suppose. A couple of times I've seen him almost saying, "Come on, boys," and waving his arms out, encouraging and trying to sort of go back to basics here. And like I said at the start, I really do fancy him for a goal tonight. I hope it's not the commentator's curse saying that, but yeah, Forsey's for me. What about you?
Same. I think also over the European campaign, he matured a lot, in my opinion. And the interviews after the games was really showing how much he loves the club. And we all know that he could play a sort of higher if he wants to. You know, he could potentially look at a full-time club somewhere, but he's entrusted his career in Tony's hands, and I think Tony's not going to let him down, and I don't think Forsey will let Tony down either.
Yeah. Play is back underway. It went back. Haverfordwest kicked it back to Mikey Lewis in goal for Barry, and then it's come up all the way here to the Bluebirds as they build up an attack here. It's dealt with well. They're going straight down the throat to the centre halves a little bit. We're trying to almost force it. I think we need to get Abu and Dan Hawkins a little bit higher, perhaps going down the width. But as Jenks seems to have fouled Kane McLagan over from the far side, just off in line with the penalty box is a free kick to Barry Town. And it's Jamie Veal worryingly heading over to deliver another set piece into the Haverfordwest box. Doesn't seem to be any other goals other than the one here against us, which gave Barry the lead. And obviously, Connors Key took an early lead in the Cymru Premier game up there in Flintshire tonight against Newtown. Full fixture list, though, across the Cymru Premier this evening. That's an excellent run by Tyrese. He must have run 30 yards there. Oh, final ball just going astray. Tyrese had about 3 Barry Town players on his back, it seemed there. When he gets going, he's and I've joked with him, he's very much like Yaya Toure in his attacking mazy runs. As Forsey's done well, it's a goal kick. Well defended there. They've ushered him out for a Barry goal kick.
I think you just said earlier, I think it's that final touch, isn't it? You know, that final pass. He just we were trying to force it or not quite thinking, and we just need to sort of get our sort of heads a little bit stronger in the game because we're there. You know, we're controlling our element now. We've got a bit of shape, got a bit of persistence, and I think the goal will come. But I just think we need to continue as we are now because doing a lot better. But still 1-0 though.
Yeah. Just gone 33 minutes into the game. So there's still a good 10, maybe 15 minutes left in this one until half-time. Kane McLagan on the edge of the box for Barry is well marshalled there. He's played it out wide. It's a good idea for Barry. And Tyrese heads out for Barry Town United corner. It's end to end at the moment. It's picking up. Hopefully a quick counter-attack here. Mike Lewis is well out of his box. It's Hugh again over to the far side to take the Barry corner. Yeah, floodlights are incredibly bright here. It really is lighting the place up. It's a defensive header by Ricky Watts, I think it was. It's over to Dan Hawkins, who's cleared long. Martel, has done well. Can he put through to Kai Whitmore? Kai Whitmore with one-on-one with the last defender inside the box. Great feet from Kai. Oh. That's a great strike. think it was Michael George who was tracking him. Whitmore did a couple of step overs onto his left foot, his weaker left foot, has drilled the ball just over the top left corner of Mike Lewis's goal. Keeper was beaten, but it was slightly high and slightly wide. Good chance.
Listen, again, we see Kai Whitmore moving the ball really quickly and very composed there. Yeah, the final shot was not as good as we expected, but very, very good composed play by us, and that's what we need to do. A bit of confidence, push that ball up quicker, and then we should have some armory up there to finish off and put the ball away.
I mentioned about the average age as well. You can see Barry had committed forward for the corner then, and they do look vulnerable when we get the ball back, and it showed that time. Martel, Kai, they broke really well. I think there was a lack of numbers in the box, so Kai had to shoot.
Well done, Dan.
As the Bluebirds look to counter again, Watsy over on the far right-hand side is with Dan Hawkins breaking off him. Breaking down the right-hand side. Does well inside to Tyrese. He's got boys all over him. He does well. Can he get... Oh, I thought he was going to go down then. Watsy delivers into the box. He's gone straight out for a goal kick. Oh, again. It's frustrating. Getting into some great areas like we did on Saturday against Carnarvon. It's not even the final third. We've got a problem with it at the minute. It's even finer than that. Newtown have equalised up in Flintshire. Connors Key 1, Newtown 1. 0-0 in all the other fixtures across the Cymru Premier this evening. Mike Lewis with a kick well into the Bluebirds half from his goal kick. It's a decent, because it's a big pitch here at Barry. He's headed out for a throw in over in front of the Haverfordwest dugout. Just thrown directly at Abu, which Kay McLagan has put a good tackle in to win back possession. Right, Bluebirds are breaking. Dan Hawkins through the middle of the centre field. Jamie Veal has brought him down. Is that going to be the first booking of the night?
Yes.
Yeah. Bryn Mark and Jones, quite correctly, I think. Veal knew what he was doing. He stopped the Bluebirds attack there. He took one for the team, certainly. Very much used to that. Experience from Veal there. It's Dan Hawkins on the ball. Every Bluebirds player is in front of him. Bar Watsy, who's 10 yards to the right. All the Bluebirds attackers on the edge of the penalty box, looking to break in. Great chip into the box. Tyrese across. Martin's offside. The ball's in the back of the net. It was Forsey with a final touch, I think. It was a Tyrese header onto Martel, and then again onto Forsey at the back post. I think it was Martel.
Martel.
Yeah. The linesman's flag went straight up, to be fair, before the ball went in the back of the net.
And Forsey and Tyrese both pointed at him. Big chance.
Almost in the 40th minute. That would have been great to go into half-time. I think it's a different conversation to have then, isn't it? Ball's ended up all the way back with Zach, who stopped it going out for a goal kick. Bluebirds looking to play out from the back to Oscar, who's been quite quiet so far. Back to Zach and out to skipper Luke DeBorn on the right-hand side, who is followed by Kay McLagan. Luke's had to turn around to go back to Zach. Out to Jenkins. The boys are passing it about well. We need to be careful with this ball. Jenkins does go long, and it's a bit too far for Dan Hawkins. It's over his head and it's out for another Barry throw over on the near side in front of us here. See assistant manager Gary Richards, Waggy, James Devnell, Tony Pennock. They're all deep in conversation over in the dugout. I'm assuming it'll be an important halftime team talk. Jules, what would you be saying going in at halftime?
Listen, I'm not going to say, because I'm not a manager, and how Tony set the guys up to play tonight, and if they delivering what he expected, set for the goal, that's great. Must admit, in Europe, I saw our bench a lot livelier, so it's quite a quiet bench tonight, and We'll see, really. I just think we'll see what Tony says. The boys are doing okay. When they're pushing going forward, we look okay. I just think we look a little bit vulnerable and a little bit toothless in the final third at times, but we're pushing forward like we are now.
Yeah, Kai's got it right near the goal line, and his trickery has got him inside the Barry box. They're desperately not trying to foul him. He's laid it. Oh, it's unlucky that is. He's got a great pass to Watsy on the edge of the box. He was just about to pull the trigger. Yet again, it's that final one. It was a great Barry foot. I think it was Jamie Veal, actually, who got there slightly before him. Luke Tabonis put a great knock across the field, and Mike Lewis has come a long way out to punch clear. It's back to Tyrese, 30 yards out. And he's lost possession of it. And Barry break. Good tackle, Ricky Watts. Fantastic tackle across the faucet on the edge of the box. One-on-one with Michael George. Cuts inside. Faucet again. Start. Pass again! It's got to be one of those passes. One of those passes has got to fall for us in a minute. As Curtis McDonald travels for Barry. He must have travelled as a centre half 30, 40 yards there. It's a great through ball across to Mikey George, his shot is blocked by Rhys Abruzzese. As Dan Hawkins breaks. 1-2 with Ricky Watts down the right-hand side there. Good ball across. Oh, he's done well. Can Martel get there? No. It's Callum St. now travelling with the Barry ball. They play out the back well. Oh, Shane McLagan, experience showing there. Newton was right behind him as gathered possession and just fell to the ground. I think that was a bit of experience there coming into play. 41 on the clock. Couple of minutes to play. Hopefully, it's a Barry free kick near the touchline inside the Haverfordwest half. Played down the line. Ollie Hulbert, the goal scorer, is marshalled by Jenkins. That's a great turn. He's managed to turn Jenks, but Jenks got back.
No.
Back. Veal on the edge of the box. That's a great shot, but Zach does well to collect that. Really on his right foot, looked to bend that into the far corner there. And I think Zach has faced those too many times in training. He knew what he was trying to do there. Interesting to see the stats on this one. Judge on possession. I think we've edged possession, but cliche, there's only one stat that matters, and we're 1-0 down at the moment.
That's the one. I must admit, we're a little bit open this side, don't we, with Dan? When Dan pushes on, I think they're definitely getting behind us over this side. But saying that, they're getting behind us both sides.
Barry missed a chance. They were just missing a player at the far post then, or it would have been a tap-in. Again, you say down the right-hand side, it's perhaps Dan, a very attack-minded player, playing this right wing-back with obviously Jack Wilson missing, Jazz missing. Caden Williams-Lowe, obviously, yet to make his league debut for us. He's come in, great CV, obviously from the QPR Academy and things. He got injured the night before the game out in Macedonia with a hamstring, I believe it was, a right hamstring. Yeah. And I think he's had a couple of training sessions. He's coming back to full fitness, but it's a bit of a plagued position at the moment, the right wing back. Dan doing okay in attacking at the moment, but I think Ollie Hulbert over on the left-hand side here, the left of the front two, causing a few problems. As Abu goes on one of his windy runs now. It's a great play between him and Tyrese. Tyrese 25 yards out across the faucet. Oh, it's a great cross. It was Oscar, actually, who's put a great cross into the 6-yard box, and it's Callum Sainty. He's a big lad. He must be 6'4", 6'5" himself. A stretching leg has put it over Mike Lewis's crossbar. For a corner. Dan Hawkins over on the far side. Tyrese Owen has got his hands in the air. That must be about 7'5" with a height there. He's towering over his marker. It's a good cross into the box. It's it just doesn't fall. A couple of ricochets and it's in Mike Lewis's hands as he lays on top of it.
I think Tyrese was trying to warm his hands on the floodlights. Yeah.
Cleared out of his hands. Again, that's a good 60, 70 yard kick from Mike Lewis in Barry goal. Abruzzesi's picked it up on him to force it. It's got to be. How is that a Barry throw? It's the opposite side, but that looked a clear defensive tackle that put it out for a throw in there. It must have deflected. The linesman is 50 yards away himself.
Now.
Yeah, it's the first complaint for the officials, but to be fair, they've had a steady game tonight, to be fair, so far. For those that remember the fixture here 2 years ago when Barry were last in the Cymru Premier, it was a 92nd minute penalty that Barry won the game 3-2. Jazz was sent off that night, and it was the same referee in charge that night, Bryn Markham-Jones, as his fourth official just walked into the halfway line. I'm going to guess it 3 minutes, do you think?
4 minutes.
Barry awarded a very, very cheap free kick. It's not far from the corner flag. You need to stay solid here. I don't even know what happened there. There's a lot of players over blocking our view. I think it might have been Abu. Again, it's going to be a left-footed in-swinger here. It's a yellow card. It seemed sometime after the decision had been made, Bryn Markham-Jones has gone across and booked Abu.
But it took him 15 minutes to walk there, though, so that's the problem.
2 minutes indicated.
Both wrong.
Stoppage time. Surprised at that, because Sink had a couple of minutes with his eye. Left-footed into the box. And as you can hear, exactly what we didn't want. It's a free header, it seems. A free header, 6 yards out, in the middle of the Bluebirds box. As Pennock sits back down in the dugout, it's 2-0. Evan Press. Evan Press in the 46th minute has given Barry a 2-0 lead. There goes our prediction.
Yes, it seems to be some words being said between the skipper and Tyrese there. Not sure who let the man go, but Luke does look a bit despondent and Tyrese looks a bit fired up with his skipper. So hopefully that will take it into the dressing room at half time and we'll come out a better looking side.
Great turns by Kai McMorge, looking to travel. He's carried it 30 yards into the Barrytown half, looking to get one back just before the break. Yeah, Abu on the edge of the box now. Can we get something? It's one back by Barry. We've been good in the defensive third. As Jenks clears, what's he now? Is fouled? Yeah, it's fouled by Kane McLagan. So our first free kick just inside our half, with a matter of seconds to go before the break. Again, there's a couple of Haverfordwest players out warming up, but it's a very static dugout over there, taking stock of what's just happened just before the break. Jenkins now at centre half, plays in. Forsey who's come deep to collect the ball, looking to get perhaps more involved. Yeah, he's coming again. Forsey wanting hold of the ball, looking to do something with it. It's almost a little bit too late in this half for anything now. Bryn Markham-Jones is looking at his whistle. Although it is all Haverfordwest possession at the moment. They're playing it about well into Barry's half. Kai Whitmore on the edge of the box. Can we get a strike off? Late. It's just that final pass again, which is cleared by Barry. And there it is. That's the half-time whistle from Bryn Markham-Jones.
The half-time score here at Chandler Park in the JG Country Premiers. Barrytown 2, Haverfordwest County 0.
And as the announcer has just given us there, it's 2-0 down at half-time. Jules, what's your thoughts on the first half?
Well, as we said, I think all the way through that, the final 30, that last quality of ball anywhere on the pitch, yeah, and we're struggling. but at times we look very composed and in control. It's a bit of a mixed bag, really. I'm not sure what Tony will say to the boys when he gets in the changing rooms, because it does look a very flat team today, you know. And even Tony's sort of not showing anything as he walks off to the changing room. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see whether the second half's a change. We'll come out and nick a couple of goals and get that back to that 3-2.
Well, I'll bite your hand up for 3-2 right now, but we'll take a short break now then. But join us in approximately 15 minutes, and we'll bring you live action from Jenner Park in Barrytown. Croeso nôl. Welcome back to Jenna Park, home of Barrytown United, who currently lead the Bluebirds 2-0. Teams are just coming back to the playing field. Just to remind you of the teams, there's been no changes yet. So we are, Zach Jones in goal for the Bluebirds, Abruzzese, Whitmore, Fawcett, Hawkins, Taylor Crossdale, Jenkins, Owen, Borg, Watts and Tabone. And Barry, Mike Lewis in goal, George, Hugh, Sainty, McDonald across the back, McLagan and captain up top, Jordan Cottrell, our former Bluebird Jamie Veal in the centre midfield alongside Aidan Lewis, Evan Press and Ollie Hulbert, the goal scorer of the opening goal. Bluebirds were out early, probably been sent out from quite a fascinating changing room, I would have thought. Jules, what do you think would have been said in there?
Yeah, mute button again. Sorry, it's a hard one to say because ultimately we're not in there. But knowing the management team, I don't think Tony had been very impressed with some of the players. I think he would have told them so. Disappointing if they've been working on this on yesterday. I was in training yesterday or Monday. Sorry, Monday to set us up for tonight, and we've not delivered. So the second half it really depends on how the players have interpreted what Waggy and Tony have said to them.
Well,
sorry, I'm just saying there's some hand gestures out there between players. There's definitely, I think there's some passion to go on and try and get a result from this game.
Yeah. Big 10-15 minutes coming in. I feel I still, 2-0. I genuinely don't think that reflects the performance in the first half. We had a good couple of chances. It's just Barry, I think, have had 3 chances. The ball's been in the back of the net 3 times. They were offside once, obviously, but they've got into good areas, Barry, but that's the only times they've really threatened. Zach hasn't had a save to make, really, is he? There was a long ranger which he dealt with. There was a Veely shot that was decent, but not really tested yet. And we're 2-0 down. But the boys are out. They're looking a little bit more pumped up than when they were walking towards the dressing room. So Kay McLagan just about to take kick-off as Bryn Markham Jones is speaking with the Barry bench. Seems to be an issue over there, but we're going to play on. Big 45-ish minutes coming up as yet more Bluebirds European shirts walk past us. It's been fascinating to see the amount of European shirts here tonight. And obviously we've got Tom Pritchard, the social media officer, one side of me. You're to the right of me. I can't remember seeing these faces before. So it's as if people who got on the journey with us, the European adventure, have purchased shirts from perhaps this neck of the woods.
Maybe, and it's great to see just young and old. It's not just the old timers that we see a lot away from home. It's young family there, young daughter and a dad walking hand in hand around the daughter with a bucket hat on and dad with a shirt on. Fantastic to see.
Yeah. Scarves. I wonder if they got a passport holder in their pocket as well. The Bluebirds commercial department will be happy with that.
Yeah.
Right, we're underway. Barry took the kick off and kicked it straight into touch. But yeah, come on, the boys. It looks as we were formation-wise. As Jenkins heads clear from a Barry long clearance. Back on the halfway line again with Jamie Veal. Barry knocking it about quite well there, to be fair, this evening. It's out for a Haverfordwest throw on the near side, yeah. Oscar coming across to take it. I think they're looking to get Abu a bit further up the pitch. And it looks Hawkins is a lot higher over on the far right-hand side there as well. Abu with his right foot clears. What's he now in possession? Over the top to Fawcett, but it looks Curtis McDonald, the Barry number 6, has played it against Fawcett and it's out for a throw-in over on the far side. Gary Richards, assistant manager, up on his feet in the technical area, showing the commands on from the dugout over on the far side. The Bluebirds actually unbeaten against Barry in the last 4 as well. 3 wins and 1 draw. Hopefully we can get back to at least a point this evening. I'm confident though. I still think more than 1 point is available tonight. I do think there's enough about the boys to if they get one now in the early stages. I think we can go on and really make a game of this. But the next goal seems to be the crucial one, I think. Interesting. Obviously, you've got the opportunity to engage with us tonight in the YouTube chat feature. Please feel free. If you've, what would you do if you were Tony Pennock this evening? What would you be doing with the tactics, with the substitutions, etc.? Let us know. Yeah. Half a chance for the Bluebirds then, but it's back near the halfway line with the Bluebirds passing the ball around. Up to Dan Hawkins, back to Kai Whitmore. Forsey misread that one, I think. Kai Whitmore's gone long and Forsey was coming short. So it's with the Barrytown keeper yet again, and he's not picked it up. He's looking to slow things down. The Barry centre halves, to be fair, they're not a young bunch. That's saying something. They've travelled with the ball well tonight. They've brought it out of the back line well. And they got the pace of Hugh and George as wing backs. It's a well organised team they've got here.
Well played.
Abruzzese, as I said, former Barry, breaks clear, finds Whitmore. Back to Abruzzese, looking to switch play over Hugh, the left back for Barry, to Dan Hawkins. Great control on his chest. In possession of the ball near the corner flag on the far right-hand side. 1v1. Manages to get a left-footed cross in. It's even above Tyrese Owen, and it's out for a goal kick. Better from the boys.
Good switch there. Good switch play. I think the confidence will build over this next 5-10 minutes. You know, we're not out of this completely. Heads haven't gone down, which is good. But it's just that little bit of luck, you know, and that's what we're missing tonight.
It's a little cliche, but it is very much the case. And it was like that on Saturday. It felt we had so many chances on Saturday, but it was that little bit of luck that we need. I'll take a deflection off one of the Barry centre halves' backsides. I don't care how it goes in, but we need a little bit of luck. Been impressed with the Barry's relatively new signing. He's joined them this season. Ollie Albert up front. He's been a handful. Again, he's back on the ball again here from an Evan Press throw-in. As Jenkins calls for offside. It's the ball out into Dan Hawkins and back to Zach Jones to clear. Good. It's the first header McDonald's won against Forsey, to be fair, tonight. But Bluebirds have picked it up. Tyrese on a bit of a winding run. Out to Abruzzese. Again, backed up by the boys. Abruzzese just outside the Barry box. 1-on-1 with Michael George. Tyrese back to Abruzzese. He knew him well, to be fair. He wouldn't let him get on his left foot. Just back to Whitmore in the centre of the midfield. He's turned. He's coming back out to the left-hand side to Abruzzese. Patiently waiting for the right ball. Back to Whitmore and across to Jenkins on the centre circle. Better. They weren't forcing it then, were they?
No, that's the thing. I think in the first half, a few times we did try to force it, and silly mistake by Luke.
Aria breaking. Jenkins coming across the Hulbert, but back post is too. Oh, it's a wasteful cross. Perhaps it's out to McLagan on the far side. Well blocked by Taborn with his arms neatly tucked in behind him there. The way the modern football. Bryn Markham Jones, the referee, was quite close to him, but I think it hit him straight in the stomach then, and it's out for a Barry throw-in. But we had so much possession of the ball there. Barry they really are getting behind the ball now, and as I suppose the manager would want them to, with 2-0 up. But they're proving hard to break down at the moment, and they broke well on the counter. It's out for a Barry corner. Hugh, again, like I said, has been travelling with the ball well tonight. He's got down to the corner flag. And I think it was Taborn who's cleared it for a corner. Jamie Veal this time, going over to swing one in with his right foot.
Hope we defend their area a little bit better this corner.
Yeah.
Hope we learn from our lesson.
And then it's almost identical, but it's over to the back post, back into the danger area. McDonald's first to it, holds it up, lays it back. Oh, narrowly wide. A left-footed strike from Hugh. It's that man again. He's getting everywhere, the left back. It was a strike from the edge of the box that missed the bottom right-hand post as we look at it. The ball ended up on the pitch. I think Abruzzesi's just knocked it 150 yards out to the ground. Confusion in the Barry backline. I think he's just headed McDonald. His teammate, Sainty's just collided head-to-head with McDonald there. Seems to be okay. Bryn Mark and Jones will stop play to assess. Yeah, it's one of the comments coming in saying press a little harder. Then he wouldn't disagree with that because the keeper has he's claimed everything in the air, but he's shown a couple of perhaps weaknesses with his feet tonight already. So can we put him under a bit of pressure as the ball does go back to Zach Jones's feet, who clears with his left foot first time. It's Fawcett who seemed to get pushed in the back.
First year.
Play on. Bluebirds up with the ball. Kai Whitmore. He comes away from two defenders. It seems to be a standard practice for Kai when he's in possession of the ball. To be fair. Out to Abruzzesi. Cuts inside. Across. That's a great little thing. Tyrese in the box. Puts it back in the... He's offside. The flag is up. It's that little bit of indecision just in those final areas there.
I must admit, I didn't quite understand why he knocked it back up there. I would have tried to tap it on his chest and control it there in the box instead of trying to flick it onto someone who's more than likely going to be offside, like they were. Decision making, that's the thing, isn't it?
Definitely.
Between a excellent, unbelievable footballer and a very good footballer.
Fine margins.
Well played.
Great feat by Abruzzesi. Sold Michael George a good dummy there. Former teammates. Tyrese Owen now on the halfway line. Back to Borg. It's going to go across. They're going to switch it. There's a space. It's going across. Jenkins to Tabone. Out to Dan. No, Tabone's travelling it, as he did on the weekend.
Go on, Luke.
It's back with McDonald. He's got to play that. He does. He clears it into the stand. It's a Bluebirds attacking throw-in. Jack Wilson, if you're still listening, this is exactly where I'd want you on the pitch right now. It's Dan Hawkins who takes the throw. Back to Jenkins. To Whitmore, who turns his man again. He's on the edge of the box. He plays... two Barry players. He must have pushed them. Two Barry players fell to the ground, was expecting Whitmore to fall himself there. But it's actually... the Haverfordwest man who gets penalised, he must have pushed one of them over. It's every single time Whitmore gets the ball, he manages to turn or get out of trouble. It's just doing it in the right areas. There's a lot of nil-nils across the Cymru Premier this evening, but Bala have taken the lead at Caernarfon. Obviously, Caernarfon unbeaten so far in the league with a couple of wins and a draw against us on the weekend. Caernarfon conceding at home. Almost an hour gone there. As Oscar plays down the line for the Bluebirds. Fawcett inside. Back to Abruzzesi. Good decision making there from Fawcett. So Ricky Watts in a bit of space. Out then out to Dan Hawkins on the right, who plays in Martell. Again, he's well marshalled there by the defenders. They haven't given him a minute's peace, to be fair, Martell, tonight. Barry are moving the ball well now in possession. Making the Bluebirds do all the hard work. Seems to be Jamie Veal in the middle who's orchestrating things. Let's go back to Europe, and Julian, as we got a bit of a stoppage here. Playoff final, Newtown. You were on your holidays.
Yeah, it was on holiday. Watched it on YouTube, I think it was. in a hotel room in Spain with the wife. And again, one of those moments, you know, when it all happened, was the emotion of it all. Really, it wasn't the emotion for winning a football game. It was the emotion what it meant to so many people for me, you know, and the Haverfordwest fans in particular. So that was such a lovely feeling. And then the journey started, you know, and behind the scenes, Rob and George and Julie, all the plans in place to get us into Europe. It was just unbelievable. We all wanted it, but I think when that ball went in and we was on the way home, it was all that planning.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good. And I think what came after that was so amazing for the club.
And it was another foreign trip when we were over in Macedonia. You went too far away.
No, I was on my annual holiday with my better half in Turkey. So took an internal flight in Turkey to Istanbul and Istanbul to Macedonia to be there for the game and the next day. So yeah, it was money well spent. Sorry, the game's going to be exciting now. Listen, we're still. I'm going back to the game. We're still controlling our defensive play in the moment. Better we did in the first half, but we're just not getting that break in the middle to feed the forward two, really.
I agree. It's that both teams seem to. The ball is on the floor a lot more this half, it seems. Luke does well to almost regain possession. Yeah, it's a goal kick. Does well there. Zach runs to get a ball, looking to get it back in play as quickly as he can. Rolls out, and it's across. It's short to Abruzzese. He's got 20 yards. Kay McLagan coming across. Abruzzese cuts inside, back to Jenkins at the middle of the back three. Out to Tabone. He's got plenty of time. Takes a couple of steps, and then has played in Ricky Watts. Again, in space. Puts a cross fielder across to Martel. That's a great ball, that is. Martel inside the box. With his back to goal. Back to Oscar Borg, who's in the left back position. So left-footed cross, a force it. Abruzzese, great strike from the edge of the box, but it's straight at keeper Mike Lewis. Better from the boys.
Do you think Martel should have done better there? In my opinion, I think he should have tried to control it and turn himself instead of playing it back out wide.
Yeah, the cross. Sorry, Joe.
No, I said the cross was fine, but I just think from here, for you can see the lack of confidence where he looked for someone else instead of trying to turn the player and get a foul.
Yeah, agreed. I think it was one of those 50-50s. It came across. It would have been if he'd have managed to pull it off, it would have been a great take. As McLagan is 1v1 versus Jenkins now. Oscar, it's a great ball back feet. Oh, it's gone out for a goal kick. Oh, no, they've kept it in. Barry, keep it in. It's over by the corner flag. Again, it was the Bluebirds who'd lost possession, and it ends up in a chance. Good. Martel holds it up on the halfway line. A great tackle. Aidan Lewis again in the centre of the park for Barry. He's been impressive tonight. If Jamie Veal is the technician, I'd say Aidan Lewis is a bit more of the Keenan's goals. He's more of the Roy Keane type of player in the middle there. He's got around and broke up a lot of the Bluebirds' play tonight. McDonough, at centre half, is in so much space. He's travelled 20 yards into the Bluebirds' half here. It's Barry on the attack. It's a cross field. Abruzzese will pick up. Again, Tyrese wins the throw. Still inside our own half. Looking for the right option. Zach is pointing. It's got to be switched here. But the Barry are really pressing high here, and it's leaving Abruzzese still with the ball in his hands. He's giving it to Oscar. It's not as if we're time wasting, but if that was Premier League, that would have been a yellow card there. Barry pressing extremely high up the pitch. And again, Barry picked up possession, and it's over with Kay McLagan now. And he's given a corner, the Barry corner over on the right-hand side. I don't know whether the linesman knew what to give there. Of course, that man who from left back is making his way over. He's not rushing.
Such a shame the officiating in this level is not particularly great. And I'm not knocking the referees, but it's just I think they need more help. You know, they need a little bit of help there. That definitely wasn't a corner, and he just didn't know what to do.
Yeah. I was biting my lip. I'll say that. It's a goal kick anyway. It's gone all over the top of everybody. There is a goal at Colwyn Bay, and it's the away side TNS who finally broken down Colwyn Bay's probably brick wall of a defence this evening. It's 1-0 TNS up there. And obviously we head to Colwyn Bay ourselves this weekend. We'll talk about that more a bit later on, perhaps. Whitmore's come deep to pick the ball up off Jenkins in our own half. But Barry again pushing really high. It's gone long. Force it in behind McDonald. Heads clear. Hawkins quick to react to pick up the ball. Looking to play. Force it back to Hawkins. Back to Whitmore. Abrucese's in a lot of space over on this left-hand side if the switch is available. Can he turn? Dan Hawkins, yet coming across. Jenkins sees Abrucese in space and it's out to the left wing back. Oscar's gone around him, providing the overlap, but it's gone back to Jenkins. Again, Barry are working hard. They're pressing hard when we've got the ball. Barry supporters pick up. And it's ushered out for a goal kick. Interesting comment in the chat there from David Collis. Will we see Tony move away from the wing-back system? I do think, I'm looking over the far side, there's Harry John is definitely one of the substitutes warming up over there. I think he might have to change something shortly as we approach the 65th minute. 25 plus stoppage to play. He was still 2-0 down. Something's got to change, Jules.
Yeah, I think generally Tony likes the wing backs, so I can't see him long term changing that system. We've got the players to play it. I appreciate we've got a couple of injuries at the moment at right wing back, but Dan's doing a half decent job now. I think he's doing better in the second half than he was in the first half. But as again now, he's pushed well over the halfway line.
Yeah.
And Abu doesn't get up so far, does he? So quickly.
Almost a chance for Martel. Mike Lewis off his goal line quickly to pick up the ball at the edge of the box. As Barry again, who are considering they play TNS and with a bit of respect, they're probably chasing shadows for a large percentage of that game. They're looking quite fit tonight. They're moving around well, to be fair. Hopefully I've jinxed them now and they're all going to get tired. As Abrucese gets away from his marker well. Back to Tyrese, who's been on the ball quite a lot tonight, but marshalled well by Aidan Lewis. Jenkins playing down centrally now then. Plays it direct down to Ricky Watts. Again, there's two banks almost of Barry players with just McLagan as the front man, it seems. Albert seems to be dropping off a fair bit more now and helping his midfielders. As Abu plays it down the left to Oscar Borg, who jumps over the first tackle. But I think we'll get a corner out of this. No, it's well defended and headed clear by the Barry defenders. Tyrese Owen on the edge of the box. Oh, he should have let that go. Barry counter-attack. Abrucese needs to try and catch Kay McLagan, who travels with the ball. He's going to be offside, but Kay McLagan keeps going on his own. Great cross, but it evades everybody. Hulbert almost on the end of that one. The Barry throw-in over on the far side. I think it was Aidan Lewis himself who'd got ahead of play, was offside, but and Kane McLagan looked for him, but chased the ball himself, was quickest to react, got ahead of the Bluebirds' defence, and managed to put a great cross that evaded everybody, but it just needed a simple touch in, and it would have been 3. Goal kick, mispossession by Barry, and it's back in Zach Jones's hands. Then looking to play quickly out the back to Oscar inside the penalty box. Archibald travelling. A little dink over the top. Has found Fawcett. He's done well. Sainty is all over him there. Fawcett holding it up.
Corner.
Goal kick.
Ah.
It's just not falling for the boys again tonight. Mike Lewis, of course, taking his time as he walks across to the other side of his goal mouth. Placing the ball down. And there's a Barry centre half gone down. Looks to be in a bit of discomfort with his groin. Coming up to the 70th minute. Just let's go back to Europe and let's talk about something a bit more positive. You said you were in Macedonia. We came across, and obviously I've never celebrated a 1-0 loss so much as we did that night into the early hours. Coming back to Cardiff, where were you for the home leg, the penalty shootout in Cardiff?
It seems a common theme here. I was on holiday. Yeah,
I teed you up there.
Yeah, I was back in Turkey, and in a pub in Turkey with the game on the screen with random people watching it with me, and that sort of 120 minutes and the penalties, and again get to the end of there, and the boys did so well, against a team that on paper we should get battered by, if I'm honest, but the boys stood up to them, and it was such a great feeling, exhilarating. And when that penalty Zach saved, and the feeling was again the same as with every time we move on this journey. It's what it means to other people, and I think we all get that now. It's as you said earlier, people walking by we've never seen before with a Haverfordwest shirt on.
Yeah.
Why is that? We definitely opened the hearts of lots of people across Wales who are following what we're doing, and unfortunately for those fans, we're just not quite doing it in the league at the moment. And hopefully we'll get to a point where we can get some stability really in the league.
Yeah, agreed. And it's like you say, those memories from Europe seem somewhat distant at the moment, but memories that will live long for everybody who was involved in all the exploits that we had over Europe. We'll come back to the B36 Torshawn experiences perhaps a little bit later, but play is back underway. Callum Sainty it was who was down injured, but is back on the field. Remarkable, that recovery. Barry with a throw in inside their half it was. That's brought play back into action. And it's that man Aidan Lewis this time who's breaking up play for Barry. He's now linking up with Jamie Beale across the middle. Barry just looking to keep possession over on the right hand side here. Certainly not rushing. Yeah. There's a ball right by the Michael George's feet, and he just lets it run past him and runs 30 yards to get the other one. Just a little bit of experience coming out. Just sure referee Bryn Markham-Jones is well aware of what's going on, and hopefully we'll be looking to caution a few players for more nonsense like that.
We're giving the lift on the coach on the way back, are we?
As Abu says, he comes away with it. He plays it. Tyrese again. It's the ball is given away. It's back in Barry possession. It's back to the keeper. Press is almost on, but Mike George clears the halfway line. Jenkins clear header, but it's back up in the air. Sainty clears. It's going to be Watson McLagan who compete. It's back to Oscar Borg on his left foot. Clears into the Barry half. It's up in the air a lot now. And it's a Bluebirds throw over on the near side here with Oscar Borg. 71 minutes. Still 2-0 to Barrytown United here tonight. Exactly as long. It's over Hugh to Whitmore.
Looks like Harry John coming on.
Yeah, I think a little bit of spark. Perhaps get on the ball in that 10 position that he's done well in recently. Who would be your change, Stuart?
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it, really? Probably Tyrese.
Looking a little bit leggy and would certainly be a little for large. As Barry break, it's into the box. Great save by Zach Jones. Kane McLagan, dummy 2, maybe 3 times past Haverfordwest players. It was on the 6-yard box. So Zach bravely down to to stop the chance. I think it was McLagan anyway. Haverfordwest come away with it. It was a great save. That would have been certainly game over. Bluebirds need something. Again, experienced backline of Barrytown United. Dummy the header, and it goes all the way back to Mike Lewis, who calmly picks up when Ben Fawcett was pressing. Barry just looking to killing moments of this game off now. Kane McLagan has got it. He's put a great ball into the back post. Another chance for Barry. It's cleared somehow to Abruzzese. Martel does well. How is that on a foul? I don't know. Martel's getting a bit frustrated. Michael George has come away with it. I think he's going to foul him. It's boiling up a little bit. Abruzzese now coming down the near side to us along the touchline. His marker is nowhere near him, so he's got time to travel. He switches it across to Whitmore inside the centre circle. He turns his man inside out a couple of times. Hawkins travel inside. It's Martel on the edge of the box. Through ball to Fawcett. Too long. And it's a shut out for a goal kick. I think it's Harry John time. It's Ben Fawcett who's the man who's replaced.
That's a weird decision, in my opinion.
Interesting to see what shape we go for now. Looks to me like it's going to be a back four, maybe, with Watsy dropping the right back.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think once play starts, perhaps you can see the shape that Tony Panix has opted for you.
Down up top.
Yeah, certainly Dan Hawkins seems to have gone a more central role. And Watsy certainly does seem to be slotting in at right back there. Have we gone 4-4-2 perhaps?
Who would be the wide player on the right?
It's hard to tell. It's got to be Whitmore here. Unless it's almost like a 4-3-1-2, perhaps.
Yeah.
With
Abel's pushed up there, hasn't he?
Do you know what? I think Harry John has slotted alongside Tyrese there in almost where Kai was. Where Watsy was, and Watsy's gone to right wing back, perhaps. Seems a bit all over the place at the moment, but once play breaks down, hopefully we can work it out. Great feat. Watsy 1-2 with Harry John. It's such great technical ability. Back through to the Barrytown goalkeeper, who again laces it 60-70 yards upfield to go and collect. Finds Whitmore, who should have been fouled there, but play goes on. Ref plays advantage. Martel crosses. Oh! What a chance. Martel, great ball across. Dan Hawkins, millimetres. It must have been so close to a back post sliding effort that's gone out. I think he's gone for a goal kick. There is no rush to get a ball. Or perhaps no. I think it's a throw in. Barry's legs seem to be tiring. There's a couple of stretches going on for cramp in the Barry camp. 76 minutes gone. Still 2-0 to the home side. A throw. I don't know how he managed to get 15 yards there, but he went out near the corner flag. I hate to mind that. Harry John now on the ball. It's just not our night tonight. Harry was on possession there, and he's with a drag back has inadvertently gone out for a Barry throw-in as Barry look to make their first change of the night.
Substitution for Harry John, replacing number 10, Jordan Cottrell.
And it's Jordan Cottrell going off, I can see. The numbers haven't gone up yet. I would guess this is going to be Lucas Tomlinson, I think.
Is number 28, Lucas Tomlinson.
Fewer chance, I've got it right. Lucas Tomlinson, who I think got the goal at TNS that Claude won back for them on the weekend. Evan Press throws it back to Mike Lewis. Dan Hawkins is pressing, but it is cleared 70 yards. Jenkins wins the header. It's getting a bit scrappy out there now. Oscar going to compete with Kane in the air. Linesman says play on. I thought that had gone for a throw in then, but got to win that, boys. Oscar Jenks seems to come away with possession there. Barry fans appeal for a foul, but it's getting a bit tasty now. Abu's marauding up the pitch. Ref blows for a free kick. Barry incensed. It was for the original foul. It's Jamie Beale speaking to the referee. Abu travels from inside his own half to the edge of the Barry box. The referee's given it for the first offence, which is in between penalty box and halfway line. Need a goal, boys. Is Dan Hawkins to deliver? Whipped deep into the back post. It's a Bluebird's head. It's ballooned up and over. That needed a better contact there. Up and over the crossbar. I think it was Tyrese who eventually got on the end of it. It was a great cross. The live TV fixture this evening, Penabon, Cardiff Met, or across I think it's on the Facebook and Scorio's Facebook and YouTube this evening. Red card, 10 minutes to play, still 0-0. Penabon perhaps to capitalise now in the last few minutes there. Then Barry break down that left-hand side. It's a good tackle by Luke. Just about keeps it in. Back to Zach, who clears up the line. Kai Whitmore. Martel, they really haven't given him an inch there. They've been really close to him. Barry pick up a free kick inside the Haverfordwest half. Barry Town manager Steve Jenkins is a bit incensed with that one, asking perhaps for a card. Obviously, recently joined Barry Town United from Cardiff City. I think he was the under-18s coach at Cardiff, former Barnet and Hereford assistant manager. He get a spell at Merthyr too. Free kick safely into Zach Jones's hands. Another goal up in North Wales. Carnarvon have equalised with less than 10 minutes to play. Carnarvon 1, Bala 1. I thought that might end up in a draw tonight. Abruzzese now then travelling into the Barry half again down the left-hand side. Jamie Beale, who is left behind in Abu's forward run. Oscar just narrow, too short with that cross into the box. It's Hulbert all the way up in the Barry end, who picks up possession. It's a bit of a table tennis match at the moment, Julian.
Yeah, sadly, and I think our decisions are not great. We talked about the rub of the green earlier in the game, but I think our decisions are not on point. And I think Tony would be very disappointed at the end of this 90 minutes. Whether we get a goal back or not, I just think some of the decisions by the players have been very disappointing to watch. We did mention it earlier, didn't we, before kickoff about the European hangover, didn't we? You know, what is there one of such thing, or we're just talking baloney? But I do feel there's a bit of a hangover still, a bit across the club. You know, we had such a great time, very professional, what we did and how we delivered everything. And I think back to the league is the reality, isn't it? Training twice a week or 3 times a week on some people, and playing on a Tuesday night in Barry is not quite the same as playing in Macedonia in 33 degrees heat, is it?
It's no, you're right. And I remember Newtown, I think if it wasn't last year, it was the year before, had a great run in Europe and then suffered coming back into the league with that sort of hangover we talk about. But it took a lot out of the players, I feel, the European adventures. As much as there was some incredible highs, it was back to ground. With half a chance for Barry there. So we coming to the close of the game, let's quickly pick up on that Faroe Islands experience, the home leg in particular. Then you were at the ground, the Cardiff City ground that night, as Barry pick up. It's another free kick. Frustration coming out now. I think it's Luke de Boer who didn't get much of the ball that time.
Swansea, I think.
Another Barry substitution. Yeah, the B36 Torshavn game then, Julian. You were in the hot seat in Cardiff City Stadium that night. How were the emotions in that one?
I think for me, there was again that pride moment, but the disappointment and the way it ended. You go out getting smashed, as we spoke about earlier, or going out on penalties. You've done your bit, and to go out on a sloppy decision like that just makes the whole thing more heartbreaking. And also, and I'm not going to keep knocking their opposition, but I don't think they did themselves any favours over the two legs, really. Especially when you see the comments on their game, their next round.
The Croatian team that ended up beating Torshavn in the next round, I think, gained most of Wales as supporters over that fortnight.
Yeah, Diddums and easy were the words that I saw quite a bit of.
Yeah, not condoning such harshness, but it was certainly a lot of Welsh supporters of the Croatians in that follow-up fixtures. And to be fair, the Croatians did well in the next round too. They were 1-0 up against Lille, I believe. They ended up going 2-1 down in the first leg now, I think. But to take the lead against a club like Lille, with Champions League experience and things like that, it shows the standards that we were pitting ourselves against. Small margins. Would have been nice to have been out in Lille.
Well, Croatia would have been fine. It'd been lovely weather as well. Another holiday.
Your passport has probably got more stamps in it than mine this summer, and that's saying something.
It's got a nice passport cover as well.
Indeed. 84th minute here in Jenner Park, and it's the referee's having a quick word with Oscar Borg inside the 6-yard box. Again, it's got very scrappy over the last few minutes as frustrations do boil over. It's as if Barry are settling on this 2-0 now, but it is a corner. Here we're grass to whip in with his left foot. Surely is a foul there. Kane McLagan on the back of
Watsy.
Watsy headed it clear, but he was piggybacking him. Watsy put it over for a corner. I'm surprised at that one. Again, it's in the same place for the left-footed in-swinger. There's a couple of unmarked players there on the edge of the box. Taborn looks like he's marking him, but Bealey's on the edge there. Again.
Yeah.
The ref gives a free kick this time for a foul on Zach Jones. Now, this is the moment that Barry pinched one back against TNS on the weekend. I wonder if they've had their luck and it's now our chance. Can we get one? As Oscar Borg travels down the left. It's well blocked out by Hulbert. For a Haverfordwest throw just inside our half. As Cardiff Airport, not too far away, is a plane is going directly over Jenner Park at the moment. Probably not much to see from the plane at the moment, though, neither. Great feat by Harry John, and sensed the Barry fans thinking it was out, but the linesman says no. What a good view of it, to be fair. Back to Abruzzese. Inside the Barry half, has put a great through ball in for Kai Whitmore. McDonald in hot pursuit. Great turn by Kai Whitmore. Oh, good chance over the bar. Again, it seems to be fine margins. I just don't see a scoring now. There's a number of people already heading for the exits. There's still a number of minutes left. 86th minute. Connors Key leading 3-1 at home to Newtown. And TNS 1-0 away at Colwyn Bay. 0-0 still at the SDM Glass in Penabon. And Carnarvon 1-1 with Bala. Ball is back in Zach Jones's hands in the Bluebirds penalty area. Rolls out to Taborn. That's one thing we've not changed all night. We're looking to play out to the back, and with Barry's high press, they're really high up the park. I can hear the defenders calling them out even further. They were on the halfway line with that plan B perhaps not quite coming into action here. But credit to the Barry supporters. Obviously, they're in happy moods, but they've not been quiet at all this evening. They've been Barry's 12th man tonight. You can see a number of Haverfordwest fans, to be fair, over on the far side. See a couple of Pembrokeshire flags and the Welsh flag, and I can see the drum sparkling under the floodlights there. Well travelled, to be fair. It's a fair old track from Pembrokeshire this evening. Even further this coming weekend. Colwyn Bay, our maiden voyage in the Cymru Premier to Colwyn Bay. It's Harry John looking to break the lines on it. Travelled well. He's played it to Tyrese. Back to Abruzzi. Again, there's 10 men behind the ball for Barry. As Dan Hawkins 30 yards out. Sees Tyrese Owen. Back to Hawkins. Goes wide to Ricky Watts. Delivered into the box. Punched here by Mike Lewis. But Barry are first to claim. Jack Jones coming to pick up. He's well outside his box. Can you see Jenkins? He plays it well to Abruzzi. It's coming to the end of tonight's action. And candidates for man of the match, Julian?
It's a difficult one, isn't it, really? For me, I think it's got to be Kai Whitmore. Again, he's trying to move the ball forward. Wants the ball just there. He's taking it wide down to the left, trying to turn the defender inside out, which he has done.
Oh, that's a goal. It's a goal.
Yes! I told you, I should do the commentary.
Ricky Watts with a header at the back post. 89 minutes played. It's 2-1. Kai Whitmore sold about 15 dummies there. Eventually managed to put a left-footed cross. Mike Lewis did see he got a hand to the ball, and he sort of parried it up in the air, and Ricky Watts heads into the bottom corner. There are 5 minutes of injury time. Too little, too late, or is this the start of a bit of drama?
Listen,
they
are vulnerable, but do we have enough in the tank to go and push them back? Because they're very good defensively, aren't they?
They've held out well up until now. Let's hope. Taborn clears Barry's first clearance. Hawkins in the centre circle. Turns. He's in a bit of space.
Out wide.
Can we get up? Great running by Whitmore to find space over on the left-hand side. But he finds Abruzzi. Oscar's gone round him, but he cuts inside. Reese Abruzzi back to Tyrese Owen. Tyrese out to Kai Whitmore. In a lot of space over on the left-hand side.
Same place.
He's travelling inside the penalty box. Great feet. He's tackled this time. That's experience, that is, to be fair. Taborn has pinched the ball, but it's Watsy. Taborn over on the far right-hand side, playing like a winger over there. He's got a left foot cross, and there's nobody there. It's going to go out for a goal kick, I think. Ushered out by Michael George over on the far side. It's positive. I think it potentially justifies your pick, Kai Whitmore.
Yeah, actually, listen, I think there's been a couple of candidates tonight. We've not been great as a team. The individual play. Harry John coming on for the last 25 minutes. Probably did more in that 25 minutes than some of the players have done in 90. But no, Kai Whitmore's got to be the man of the match for us. Set the goal up. Also, he's trying every time to move us forward, which we desperately need.
Yeah, I'd agree for us. Kai's probably been the standout for it. But frustratingly, I think Zach Jones hasn't really had anything to do other than perhaps one save in the second half. It's Barry, for me, the best few players on the pitch have been in yellow tonight. Aidan Lewis, even Jamie Beale has done well. And the man who's just fouled Lee Jenkins to give Abruzzi a chance to clear the lines, Ollie Hulbert, 22 for Barry. I thought he's been impressive too.
Very. It's a shame when we look at their side and probably can name 3 or 4 who you would pick as man of the match.
Yeah, and their centre halves. I can't believe I'm saying it, but they've done really, really well against the lively Haverfordwest strikers. You'd think on paper they'd have the beating of them, but they've beaten them. But still time. It's in the Barrytown half. Abrasesi over on the far right hand side. Sees Martel, who puts a cross in. Charlie Whitmore almost manages to get ahead on it. It's going to go for a Bluebirds throw. Again, ideal Jack Wilson, where are you? Oscar Borg inside to Kai Whitmore, who's tackled.
No way, Liner. That is no way.
The linesman and the referee sort of agree. It's a Barry throw, and again, slow. He's tying his shoelace. Of course he is, ref.
Yeah.
He's blocking. I don't think Bryn Markham Jones is going to fall for that one. Again, he's gained 15 yards down that touchline. Harry John with the ball now. Can he come out of trouble here? He does well. Plays back to Jenkins. It is now or never. He did it on the weekend in the last minute of stoppage time. Be a big point to come away with here now after the performance. I think it's Barry, I would say, have been the better team overall. But it's still a chance. Harry John into the Barry half. Back to Jenkins. Does stumble. It's back to Harry John. A lot of space. Barry has certainly got their banks lined up in defensive block. Ricky Watts crosses. It's cleared. Can it go out? It doesn't go out. Hugh over on the far side. It's a great tackle. Ricky Watts. Great tackle on Hugh. The ball goes out for a throw-in. Again, it's experience ignoring of the closest ball as he walks 30 yards to collect the next one. 94th minute.
Do you think they've got a sight problem? We need to sort of help them out.
Bluebirds get possession back. It's just lost in close control there. Jenkins. Zach Jones screaming for the ball. Zach screaming for the ball inside the penalty area. Jenkins, hotly chased by McLagan, decides to knock it out for a throw-in. And again, it's a very slow-paced walk to collect the ball from Barry. Experience. That average age coming to fruition there. It's thrown into the corner. Tabone and McLagan battle. It's a throw into the Bluebirds. It is surely now last chance saloon time. It's out Hawkins, who somehow ended up on this left-hand side. Back to Abrasesi. They can only be seconds. Tyrese Owen. Back to Hawkins. Bluebirds attacking. Whitmore is around him. Hawkins puts a ball in. It's deep. Oh! It's in! Yeah! It's
Get in!
Ricky Watts has equalised in what can surely be the last kick of the game. The Bluebirds fans erupt. On the far side of Jenner Park, Mike Lewis came for Dan Hawkins' cross, has flapped at it, and it's fallen again on the back post. Ricky Watts, incredible scenes.
This is one game of Monopoly I want to win. Get out of jail free cards. That was what a finish. What a finish.
What a point. Hopefully, anyway. The Bluebirds fans are the loudest.
Can I just jump in? I think there may be a fire drill. Yeah, I think there may be an instant that we need to evacuate the stadium.
It's 2-2. Bryn Markham Jones again looks at his whistle. There is milliseconds, I'd have thought. It's over.
It's over.
Wow.
2-2.
Somewhat, I would say, undeserved, but it is a point on the road.
The final score.
Incredible scenes. Barry players out on their feet.
Haverfordwest County 2. We would like to wish Haverfordwest County.
Wow. What did I tell you indeed is in the comments, Julian? What do you make of that? Ricky Watts, 2-goal hero.
Listen, a game's played over. a 90-minute plus period, and for once we'd gone to the end of the game. And we looked, the team wanted it more at the end, and they were on the ropes. And I think you spotted it earlier on in the game with the keeper. We didn't really struggle with give their back line any real problems. As soon as we did, guess what happened? They tumbled apart, and listen, we all can travel and get home very, very happy to gain a point in the road here at Barry.
There's a wry smile certainly from us here in the media section of Jenner Park. That's a bit of a last chance saloon. They couldn't have left it any later. That's twice now the Bluebirds showing that fighting spirit, certainly as they go across to clap the travelling supporters. Who, fair play, it's a good 2-hour jaunt from Pembrokeshire. So credit to the guys who made it here tonight. Thank you to you listening live, engaging in the chat, or perhaps listening on demand. It's certainly been one to remember. Our first public access live stream of tonight's commentary on the Bluebirds Nest Live. We will go again, just 4 days' time. Fixtures are coming thick and fast. Saturday, September the 2nd, at the Four Crosses Construction Arena. As I mentioned, the first ever Cymru Premier fixture against Colwyn Bay. We will be there for another Bluebirds Nest Live. Thank you for tuning in. Julian, it's been great to have you with us. It's I can't quite believe what's gone on the final few moments there. Look forward to seeing the highlights on Scorio. And Tony's interview, I'm sure, will be can of worms. I wonder what his feedback will be. Thank you very much.
We'll find out soon. Listen, it's been a great pleasure, and to those who joined us tonight, thank you, and to the wider sort of Haverfordwest community. Let's go on and have a great season, everyone.
Thank you all, and again, as I mentioned, we'll see you again for the Bluebirds Nest Live this coming Saturday at 2:25 p.m. Over and out.